like being single was not hard for me, right? And I say that outwardly,
sure.
I did very well as a single man, right? I mean, that's just because it's not hard to just be authentic and say, my name is Justin, what's your name?
And now, Escaping the Drift, the show designed to get you from where you are to where you want to be. I'm John Gafford, and I have a knack for getting extraordinary achievers to drop their secrets to help you on a path to greatness. So stop drifting along, escape the drift, and it's time to start right now. Welcome back to the program, everybody. Today on Escaping the Drift, the podcast that gets you from where you are to where you want to be. Man, I got a dude. I got a good dude today. This is a cat. It's like, if you know, all you guys that are out there chasing that dollar, man, saying, I wish I had a mentor. Wish I had somebody that could show me how to make big dollars. Wish I had somebody that could help me get it. Well, this is a dude that's been in the game forever. And when I mean forever, I'm talking about has a bestseller on Amazon in real estate investing. Has a dope-ass family, a beautiful house, living the life in Miami. And he has way less hair than I have, which is about the only thing I'm winning at today. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the program.
I was waiting for the hair comment. You know, I've been around a long time.
Yeah, this is Justin Colby.
What's up, brother?
What's up, man? Thanks, man. Dude, I appreciate you coming in from Miami. Good to see you, brother.
I'm excited to be here, dude. This is, it's always an honor to be on your podcast.
Good to see you. Man, I got to tell you, I wanted to have you on because I'm watching what you're doing with the new deal. And I like it so much more than what all the other kind of educators are doing, right?
Yeah.
So like you see these, like, join my coaching program, get my coaching program. And dude, and here's this thing. Don't be mad at them. This is a formula that has been well proven forever. It is, you know, do video content, put it into school, put it into Kajabi, put it into one of those programs that just doles it out. It is good. And look, I'm all about cloning yourself. I'm all about doing that.
Yeah.
Right. But the problem is, man, things might be a little different today than it was yesterday. Things change. The markets change. People's attitudes on things change. And the way that you are doing this new project that you have, or this new thing you spun up with education, is awesome.
Yeah. Thank you, dude.
Because
I'm
it's
flipping
legit.
it on its head.
Yeah,
right?
It's legit. It's like, you know, I'm going to tell you the secret sauce real quick, and then we'll talk about what it does. But these guys are on the phone with you for 2 hours a day. You're listening to them. You're watching them live work deals, do things that you want to do, and you're learning from watching them. So like I have people all the time that say, oh, I want to come and hang out at your office for a couple of days and just look at your business.
Yeah.
And you're like, you know, for my friends, I'm like, yeah, come on down. I'll show you whatever you want to see. But, you know, a lot of people, you're like, who's this? No, you're not coming hang out.
That's
whatever.
Right.
Dude, this is like your insider pass to watch this stuff happen live. And I think it's so cool. So first of all, a little bit of the background, man. So let's go to the background. How'd you get into real estate in the first place?
Desperation, brother. I was, you know, classic story, came through the crash of the real estate crash. I was a realtor that had no skills, zero. I was blessed by connections, and I can go off on that. You'll make more money with the people you know than you will make by just doing marketing, right? You can spend all the money you want. Because of connections, I've been able to create the lifestyle I have. So one of my closest friends in college, his dad was a developer. So he's like, dude, let's start a brokerage. We'll sell my dad's homes. Duh. Now I have this great degree from UCLA. Great. Now I'm going to be a realtor. Didn't need my degree. My friend and I started this brokerage. Still the highest performing California boutique brokerage in California.
Nice.
Still around. W Real Estate. They're amazing. And so, but I didn't create any skill sets, right? Because I would sit in a new home build. I'd get 18 offers a day on the weekends, and we'd choose the highest one, and I'm done. I did nothing.
Yeah.
So when the market crashes, so do I, right? I have zero skill set to be a realtor, right? I passed the exam, but I've never built a business. I didn't do anything. So when the market crashes, I crash. I had a $120,000 car. I had a $500,000 condo. I had $40,000 of, you know, credit card debt because I was printing money. So I didn't care. I threw everything on an Amex. Gone. So 2007, you know, we didn't have Facebook. Maybe we had MySpace, right? All the stuff that you and I are aware of now, podcasts weren't around. Mm-hmm. And so we didn't have the resources, but there was YouTube. And I saw some crazy kid with leopard hair flipping short sales. And in his YouTube video was an ad for this thing called Freedom Soft, which is a mutual friend, Preston Ely's old software.
Yeah, I think I remember this.
I called my grandfather to borrow $1,000. Remember, I'm sleeping on a couch. I am broke. I don't have $1,000. He gives me $1,000 to buy the product. The product leads to an invitation to an event where I am the guy in the seat at the event, like so many of you have been, getting sold coaching for 3 days. And I call a friend to borrow $25,000, a friend, to pay for this coaching. So first, that friend is a really nice friend, right? Because there's not many people that will do that. Number two, it's always about being resourceful, not having the resources. I could have been everyone else is like, oh, I can't afford coaching and I'm just going to go suck, right? But I said, no, dude, I know my friend has money. And if I deliver the message in a way that I think he would like, I think he would do it. I call him, say, dude, I'm going to pay you back, right? The whole little, he's like, all right,
dude,
pay me the money.
I don't know what I saw it the other day, but I saw a group of guys and they were talking about something I thought was so interesting, which was how many people do you have on your phone you could call today and say, I need $100,000 and they give it to you?
Yeah.
How many people do you think? Now, but not then, now, how many people?
I mean, I have a lot of people that have the money.
Right. No, you'd have to give them a pretty compelling story. Not people that could. No, the people would give you $100,000.
That's what I'm saying. Not as many as people would think.
Yeah.
I would guess 5 to 10.
Yeah, but 5 to 10, right? That's 5 to 10.
Yeah.
So right there, that's $500,000 to $1 million you could get if you absolutely had to have it tomorrow.
If I had to have it, I could go.
You get $1 million. Yeah. There's power in that.
There's no doubt.
And like that goes back to network, which I think is so interesting. Like tonight we're going to dinner, right?
Yeah.
I learned this from Dan Fleischman. Actually, not from Dan. That's not what I meant to say. Shoot. I can see his face and I can't think of it. Anyway, tonight we're going to dinner, right?
Yeah.
So my first thought when you're coming to town, like we want to go to dinner. I'm like, all right, I got to get some cool people to go to dinner with.
Love it.
Because I love to connect to other people. Because if I connect other people with cool people, then all of a sudden your network grows.
That's right.
And so, I think superpower, listen, that's your little hint for today, kids. If you're a superpower, you want to start doing something, start connecting other people. Be the person that's known as the person that connect the dots for others, and you will get what you want.
There's no doubt. I think it's the best thing you do. You'll make more money with those people. I guarantee there will be something that from tonight's dinner, and I won't say in a month or even a year, there will be some business transactions at some point between the 4 or 5 people that we have at dinner. I guarantee.
Well, the good news is 2 of these guys are my 2 of my $100,000 guys.
There you go. There you go.
There you go. They're worth knowing. So there you go.
That's right.
And I'm one of the guys in their phone probably. There you go. So you went to the training and you did all that. And I know you started ripping. What about that education would you have changed if you could go back now and be like, yo, what would you have changed?
Well, funny you say that. So you started with this intro about what I'm doing. I'm flipping the whole coaching model.
Yeah.
I don't want people. Now, by the way, I've been coaching in that model, $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 a time. Pay me, I'll teach you. I've done that for a decade now, I'm flipping it as of January 25th or January 1st, 2025. I now, and this is exactly the question you're asking, instead of you paying me $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 to coach you, I'm just going to do it with you. You're going to pay me $197 a month, and you are going to be on the phone with me on Zoom every single day, 2 to 3 hours a day. And me, my general manager, my acquisition team, actively talking to sellers, negotiating deals, comping deals, getting offers out. So far this year, and I think today's the 8th, we have contracted 12 deals
doing
in this group, because I'm actually taking people who are mostly brand new, but some have done deals. They just couldn't keep getting them going and they're frustrated, and I'm getting them over the edge because they're watching someone, myself, that have done this 18 years.
Yeah.
Right. They see how I position the call. They see how I frame myself. They see why there's always a good, like a setter and a closer type model, right? I come at it very soft. I talk about how I'm the analysis guy. I'm looking at spreadsheets all day. I have glasses on. I'm a geeky guy in glasses in a dark room. I need to make sure our numbers are right, Mr. Seller. So all I'm trying to do you mind if I ask you just some questions so I can dial in these numbers so we can move forward? Every seller's like, yeah, okay, that makes sense. And then there's always a funny joke after that, because I always talk about being the geeky guy with glasses. Oh yeah, I spent the last 10 years of my life being the geeky guy, so I totally get it. Yeah, what do you need? Every seller reacts this way. So they're watching me, my general manager, my acquisition guys, do it with them, not just teach you, talk at you, say, here's what you should go do it. We are actually just doing it with you. Imagine if everyone who wanted to be a top agent in Vegas came to your office every day and had open access to you, and you would just walk out of your office at random and say,
you just described my office. my office is a glass box in the lobby.
That's it.
I'm not buried behind secretaries.
That's right.
It's literally a glass cube in the office.
You have the second highest ranking, right?
Shocking.
Like weird how that works.
Weird how it works. I get it.
Because you're doing I'm just doing it in this space. Same idea. I'm saying, listen, imagine all of you, we all run a business together. We're in the same office, and I'm going to plop down next to you every single day at random and say, all right, give me the phone. Who are we calling next?
Yeah.
How much further along would you be on your learning, on your confidence? That is essentially what I'm doing. So I'm basically going to flip the entire coaching model on its head. I'm going to build a massive, essentially, community of people doing deals and do it with them. We'll share it JV 50-50 until they're so good that they're actually ready to just go out and
to
do
leave
it
the
themselves.
nest. Yeah, it's honestly, it's the same way I do it with agents, man.
Right.
I put agents on my team. They work my deal. They work my leads for 50-50 split. And then eventually they get, they half of them like want to stay forever because they don't want to deal with the marketing side of it. They're just happy. They just want to close deals. And then the other half of them get to a point where they're like, I think I can do this on my own. And I'm like, great, just do it in the brokerage and leave my team, but stay here. And there's so many of our top producers in Simply Vegas that at some point over the last 16 years were on my team at some point.
And shocker, you're the number 2 brokerage.
And there they go.
Because of that. And I'm so fired up about it. I mean, genuinely, people ask me like, what keeps you going? Stuff like this, like it is so cool to see a woman. She's a nurse full-time. She's paid 6 figures into coaching, never done a deal. She joins my community in the first week. She gets her first deal. Like the emotions she had are insane.
Yeah.
Right.
What was the assignment fee on her first deal?
$16,000. We talked about it.
$16,000.
$16,000. And she's like, I can't believe this worked.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. And now she's gaining this confidence. Like now she's like blowing up the community. Hey, I just talked to the seller because there's a lot of, I force like communal activity. Yeah. And then I reward it. So like the top person who gives the most within the community, that's not me or my general manager, I'm going to fly him out to Miami and we're going to go on Spofford's yacht and spend the day. Nice. Just say thank you. Thank you for being a goddamn leader in this community because we are lacking leaders in business.
Yeah. No, dude, I love that. And it's so funny you just said, I just realized I forgot to talk to you about, you were at Fleischman's yacht party in Miami last week. Yeah, you were on that.
That was great. Talk about connection.
I knew. Yeah, I'm like, yep, Eric Wolfer. Okay, that was there. This is addictive. Okay, I'm like, I know him. I know him.
Oh, dude, it was everybody. You knew probably every one of the,
yeah, it was crazy.
Gottlieb was there. Brad Sumrock was there. Yeah. Myself, Fleischman, Spofford, Coach Stormy. I mean, literally, it was the who's who.
Let's shift gears and talk about that.
Yeah.
That's something we could talk about as far as how to be successful in a room like that. So let's say, look, we talk about people, we talk about being connected to people as the way to get to the next level. How do you, when you walk in a room like that, how do you connect with others? How do you do it? Walk me through that.
You and I are the same person. I have no problem going up and saying, what's going on? I'm Justin Colby. None. And I'll do it all day long. And that is not true for everyone. You're the same way. You could go do that. I am John Gafford to anybody, anytime. That is who we are innately. So it's hard for me to really say, how do I do it? Because I just do it. It is literally innate in me to not give a shit. I was a kid. I'll give you a great story. Everyone should appreciate the story. 8, 9 years old, girls are starting to become kind of thing. You start paying attention a little bit. Me and my couple buddies were riding bikes on a Saturday. We're going around to the grocery store and the park and whatever and just doing our thing. This group of girls are at the park. My buddies are like, right? Because we're like 9. So we're starting to look at girls, I just ride my bike over to them and introduce myself. Have a little conversation. I forgot what all, but what I remembered is when I came back to my friends, they're like, how did you just do that? What did they say? Oh my God. And they were blown away.
Like I just went over and talked to them.
And I've been like this since I was a kid. This has just been who I am. And I said, I didn't say anything. I said, hey girls, I'm Justin. What are you guys doing? I didn't have a line. I'm 9 years old. There's and it's still the same way. You go onto this boat and you have people who are doing more than you, less than you, but all successful, whatever. You just introduce yourself. Say, hey, my name's Justin. I'm a real estate investor and I have a good coaching program. What are you up to? What do you do? Mm-hmm. And then you'll hear, oh, I have apartments or I have a marketing agency or I have awesome, right? And then find some alignment. If there's a value add that I try to give in that conversation, I try to. And just like you, it's about usually the Rolodex. So usually what I'll try to do.
I know somebody for you.
Yeah. Hold on, dude. You know what? Let me connect you right now.
Do you know this guy? Yeah.
And I do it right then in front of them.
That's my
And I connect them immediately. And I say, dude, I think he can help you do the thing or whatever. And it immediately gives goodwill in the relationship.
Yeah, have at it. Have at it, boys.
That's it. Now I understand. That is not normal for everyone to feel comfortable enough to do that. I just have always had what I call a shoulder shrug mentality. What are they going to hate me? What are they going to do? Punch me in the face by saying, hi, my name's Justin. What's your name?
Yeah.
You know, so like being single was not hard for me, right? And I say that outwardly, like
sure.
I did very well as a single man, right? I mean, that's just because it's not hard to just be authentic and say, my name is Justin. What's your name?
Yeah. I think for me, and I've said this before on the podcast, but I think for me in those groups, my trick or my little curveball is always I say, hey man, tell me about you. And when people start saying, well, I own this or I do this and I work at this company, I'm so-and-so. I'm like, no. I don't give, not what do you do?
Yeah.
Tell me about you. Where are you from? You have a wife, got kids. But, you know, what do you like to do?
Yeah.
Like I need to see if I like you as a human before I give a shit about what you do. And then when you ask somebody that in a big networking event, bro, their brain just skips a beat. And I've always tried, and I've always said in groups like that, it's way more important to be memorable than have a good memory.
That's right.
You know, it's funny. The first time it happened to me, I thought it was really weird. I met, who's the guy? I think he's in Phoenix. He's Vietnamese, maybe owns a shit ton of property. Do you know what I'm talking about? Or in Dallas?
Datch Win?
Datch Win, yes.
Yeah.
All right. The first time I met Datch, I couldn't remember his name. First time I met him, we're at an event and he goes, oh, let's get a picture. And I was like, okay. And he took a picture and then he texted it to me.
Yeah.
And I couldn't, I was like, why is, like, that was so weird. And then I realized why. So he remembered who the hell I was.
That's right. Someone just did that to me too. I was like, I keep forgetting to do that.
What a move.
Yeah.
What a move that is. So if you're in a group, you're like, let's get a picture. I'll text it to you. And that's a great way because then they'll remember who the hell you are.
We just talked about this on my podcast, but one of the things you and I have going for us at this point is in rooms like that now, the value add could be like, bro, I would love to interview you. Would you want to be on a podcast? I mean, we get a lot of people listening. So, bro, anytime, let's exchange numbers, boom, boom, boom. And that value add, because of my presence or your presence on Apple and Spotify, it immediately creates a value for them because most of them are just entrepreneurs and want to be bigger brands. That now is kind of the go-to for me.
I found, so let me ask you how you do this, because I found this to be a little tricky. Because for those of you who don't know, Justin, if you look at the Apple rankings on business, me and Justin are right next to each other always, right? For his podcast, which is awesome. Check it out, Science of Flipping. In the Entrepreneur DNA, he's actually got 2.
Yeah, I have 2. I'm rolling.
You got a new baby. Like, dude, like slow down, dude. Like you're going to make me look bad. Yeah. Slow down a little bit. But I've always found that now, like, you got to kind of preface it a little bit about the podcast. Like you always have to say it's like one of the top Apple podcasts.
Yeah,
you can't just say, I have a podcast, come on, because I just picture some dude in like a basement. Like,
that's it.
Yeah, dude.
So the thing about Dan, which is great, is he let everyone kind of do that because it was intimate. So there was like 20 people on a yacht. So he was like, everyone do that. So the thing I actually said is, I'm a real estate investor. I have 2 top ranked podcasts on Apple, 1 business, 1 real estate. I run a coaching business, blah, blah, blah. So I definitely highlighted that.
Yeah.
And it actually became the talk. Most people came up to me.
That's
what
they want to know about.
So it wasn't very hard for me to go talk to people. They would come up to, oh, what podcast do you do? How did you do that? Like, I've been thinking about it, right? So then again, it just gives you a door. It gives you a way to offer value to them. Yeah. So we talked about it. I think everyone should do it. If you're a real estate, no, I'm not real estate, but a business owner. Yeah. I would say everyone should have. Well,
you know, we talked earlier about tempering expectations.
That's right.
Like if you live in Miami, God bless. You live in LA, not so God bless today.
Right.
You live in Vegas. You live in a place where a lot of people have to go to for conventions, for things. Then yes, have aspirations of having big national guests. It takes a long time to get to a point where people want to come on your podcast. That's right. It takes a long time. But if you live in Topeka, Kansas, dude, and you are in business and your business depends on 50 other people that own businesses, well then dude, spin it up and just have the people that have your clients that own other businesses on your podcast.
That's simple.
And then you're promoting their business. That's and now they have that law of reciprocity and they want to help you.
Yeah. I mean, in other ways, you can almost be an affiliate for them. Hey, listen, I want to feature you. You're selling great donuts. Let's have some coupon code with me. Right. And then it becomes a revenue stream for you too. Yeah. Right. Law of reciprocity. Or you say, hey, I want to blow up your donut shop. Let's go.
No kidding. I mean, I've gotten burned a couple of times with some of the affiliate links, especially financial stuff. Man, I've stopped doing it.
I've tried not to do it.
I had one guy come on here, and it was weird because I didn't know him, but I knew people that knew him that introduced us. That I figured, well, if you stamp by that, then again, look, there's a bunch of people just lost money in a Ponzi scheme because of the same theory, right? So it's like, because he was with this guy, I figured he was okay, and then it's like, all right, then I bring him on the show and vouch for him, and then, you know. This is like during
Not
the ERC
ideal.
credits and all that stuff. And I ended up just like, bro, just give everybody that you met through me their money back and let's call it a day. Which he did. I'll give him credit.
Good.
He did.
That's good.
But it was still just, man, it's so hard in the hustle culture.
No doubt.
To just, because there are sharks swimming in those waters.
There's no doubt.
There are thieves amongst us.
Yeah.
And there always is.
I always
how do you determine a good person? Like, what do you go with good person? Because I asked Chris Voss this a couple weeks ago on the podcast.
I wonder what his answer
No,
was.
I said, do you assume people are good or assume people are bad? Because like in the job he's in, right?
I go good every time. So I'm very trusting, right? And so I will trust you until you give me a reason not to, and I'll give you 100% trust.
Yeah.
Right. Like I will go sit in my office all day and I don't care. Give me a reason not to trust you, and then it's broken.
Yeah.
Right. And I forgive. Right. One of the nice parts of my childhood, which my first coaches and mentors were my parents, because they were exactly who I didn't want to be. Alcoholics, didn't love me, I don't want to say that, but like they cared more about the alcohol than they did about me.
Yeah.
Right. Leave me at baseball practice, forget to pick me up from school and all that. I say that because I can forgive really easily because of what I went through. Because forgiveness, carrying around hatred or whatever, that's a debt to you.
Oh,
that
sure.
only affects you.
Oh, sure.
So I give everyone the 100% trust. You are a great human until you show me otherwise. You get all my trust. You break it, you don't get my trust anymore, but I'll forgive you because I don't need to carry around that hatred or hurt or pain. I forgive you. You just won't get my trust.
Yeah, I was totally expecting Voss to say, "Oh no, people are terrible." Like
FBI.
think about you. You're the FBI hostage negotiation.
Yeah.
That's your job, right? So I just totally expect him to say it. He goes, "Nah, man." He goes, I always lean into everybody's good and kind until they give me a reason not to. And I'm very skilled at understanding body language, and I can pick up pretty quick if somebody's not genuine, and I just move them from that box to next. But I always assume that they're good people.
That's
I always
great.
assume. And I was like, man, there's hope for America. Cause I mean, look, we've all been, I know you and I have both been burned by seven figures before.
Yeah.
You're not entrepreneuring hard enough. You haven't been burned
That's
at least
right.
once, but yeah, but to have a dude that's seen the terrible shit he's seen, keep that positive outlook.
No
I was
doubt.
like, there's hope for the world.
There is.
There's hope,
There
man.
is.
There's hope. So as you grow your network, right, through these people, and you're creating, this is kind of back to the education piece, but again, it comes back to, I think it's so funny, when we first sat down today, I said, what do you want to talk about? And he's like, I don't know. What are you talking about? I said, well, shit, we'll figure it out. I don't know. And really, this has become the value of building your network is really what this has become.
That's right.
This podcast. And I love that. So as you build these folks through your coaching program, they aren't really students, they're partners.
Yeah.
I mean, it's what they are.
50-50.
They're 50-50 partners. And they go out. I mean, this is going to be, if you look at how that replicates and you look at how that continues to grow, now let's say you have a student that goes out and does this, teaches this, somebody comes to them and says, hey, I want to learn how to do this. They don't have time to deal with it. They don't want to do it. They're going to send them to you.
That's right. And I'll give them an affiliate link. So another thing I'm changing in this space, if they bring in Fred, because Fred's like, dude, how are you getting this done? They say, go join REI Live. They will start making $50 a month as long as Fred stays in. I'll pay them to do that. So if they find 4 people, because it's $200 a month, they essentially aren't even paying me anymore to be in this group, right? Because now I'm paying them $200 a month. Then, this is the kicker that no one, I don't think, has ever done this. Let's say you come in, we get some deals going, your best friend wants to come in too. Great, I'm paying you $50 a month. You're not overly excited, but you're like, all right, whatever. But then your best friend, Fred, is an all-star. He does everything. He's bringing leads. We're crushing 1 to 2 deals a month. Every deal Fred does, I'm going to give you 10% of my side just to say thank you because you brought Fred in perpetuity for every deal he ever does while he and you
are both in the system.
Are in the group.
You get a kicker.
Because I want to say thank you and I want to I will start paying members to be in this group versus them paying me. Because when I give away that amount of goodwill, it'll change people's lives. And what I'm doing it for, I'm in my life cycle of I care more about what the impact is than me getting rich.
Yeah.
Selling $10,000, $20,000 has made me a lot, or $10,000, $20,000 has made me a lot of money. But now I'm in a life cycle, probably because new dad, right? I have 2 little kids and whatever. And I'm just like, dude, it's about the impact. Yeah, I want to make a lot of money. Don't get me wrong. But I can do that while they get a lot of money too.
Yeah. Let me ask you this, because this is always something that's confused me. And I wonder your opinion on it. Like, building communities around real estate investing. Like there are people going to meetups and RIA meetups, all that stuff. I'm the first one as a realtor. Like I don't take this the wrong way, realtors. I loathe hanging out with other realtors. I think it's the biggest waste of time on the planet, right? Yeah. I think all these realtor groups are a freaking waste of time. It's like, why would you spend your time networking in a room with a bunch of people that are never going to buy or sell a house with? They're never going to send you a deal.
That's it.
Ever. Right. So, but what is the difference in a real estate investor group? Because I've never been to one of them. Like
I would argue that it is very collaborative.
Yeah, because they do share deals. Mm-hmm. Actually, I say I've never been to one. I go to one every quarter. So
there you go. Right.
But you see, it's like, how can we work together? Whereas, that's right. Yeah, that's the realtors don't do that. They just want to.
That is the interesting side. And I told you on my podcast, I'm getting licensed because I actually want to change the frame of that too.
Yeah.
I want them to understand what they're already doing. If they figure out my side of the investing space,
yeah,
they will make more money, but they will do more because they'll find more ways to collaborate amongst each other as realtors, but also as investors.
Well, I think it's so funny as you are getting licensed to kind of get into my space a little bit. We are, you're helping me spin up the wholesale channel, which is just going to be, we're going to use to acquire property and then do the dispo channel 100% into our agents at Simply Vegas and give those guys opportunities to just buy those properties and burr them or flip them or whatever they want. But we're going to create that deal flow for them for the wholesale channel. So it's funny how these worlds that have always been so far and so heavily separated are now kind of really blending more and more every day.
It's about time. It has to, right? I mean, and I make the argument all the time. I think we genuinely, for the most part, like 98% of the time, we're serving different clients. Are there some times that we get a similar client that an agent could list? For sure. But typically we're dealing with busted properties. Like I call them dumpster fires, typically, right? Yeah. And so like most agents don't want to have to deal with a fire or a home that has a hoarder living in it. And now the hoarder just had to go to an old person's home and now all the stuff's there. Like what agent wants to deal with that listing? Not many, but an investor loves it. It cost me $1,500 to clean out that home and now I have a great flip because the agent didn't want it, right? So the collaborative effort needs to start happening. Agents have to be getting in the real estate game. And they are. We talked about it. It's more now than ever. But the reason I'm getting licensed is to make sure that every agent understands how they can do it legally, ethically, morally, keeping the license and being a great real estate investor.
Both of them.
Yep.
If you had to put it down to one or two sentences, what's the secret to your success?
Fortitude, just one word. You just keep fucking going.
Just keep going.
Keep your head down, keep going. And then maybe another word, iteration, adaptation. I, just like you, my secret is like I can kind of see around the corner for the most part. And when it's getting creepy, I can start to adapt and pivot quicker. And in my younger years in business, I didn't, right? Like we're buying most of our flips from the auction. The hedge funds came in and like crushed my business. I don't know if anyone really saw that coming. I don't know how I could have
that was wild.
But like
that happened fast.
Yeah. So I mean, shame on me for not seeing it, but kind of how did I know? But anyways, but then things like we were heavily leaning into direct mail at one point of our career. And I started slowly seeing the numbers creep down in response rate. And I'm like, okay, we got to start to pivot into other channels. So we started picking up PPC, right? And so adaptation or, different iterations, but then just, you're going to take your lumps. You just keep going. There's nothing, success is it's longevity. It's over time, right? Yeah, there's overnight Bitcoin success. Fine. Prove me wrong.
It's gambling. It's gambling.
Yeah, go do it. Awesome. Yeah, you can do that. In 1 year, you can become a multimillionaire. I got it. But in general, the John Gaffords of the world, the Justin Colbys of the world, is because we've just done it long enough.
Have you ever had a home run crypto play?
No, I buy it and just
I
don't even. How do you have time to understand that pink pantyhose is going to be some boom thing? And you're like,
I don't. I just buy it, let it sit.
Yeah,
there.
I just said I literally let it sit there.
I don't even know. I have no idea.
No idea. But I don't even know that I could.
I've
done it really well.
Yeah, I don't even know that I could get into my wallets right now if I had to. If I have to go to a safe to get that.
I would tell you, I am leaning a little bit more into crypto only because of Trump.
Yeah,
and I genuinely believe Trump is going to put some laws and lay down some smackdown on the crypto world. And I think it's going to start to change not just the United States.
Yeah.
I think because of what I believe he's going to do, and I have no way to totally support this, he's going to go so heavy into crypto other countries are going to have to.
But here's my question about that, right? Here's a surprise disclaimer. Neither one of us is an economist.
Yeah, right. Or a financial
advisor and or a political scientist. None of that. But how are you going to say he wants to get rid of capital gains on crypto when he's a real estate dude?
Dude, you know what Grant's doing, don't you?
No, what's Grant doing?
If he figures this out, and I think he's close, he's now doing, and I don't know the total
tokenized
details.
Real estate, so he won't have to pay gains on the tokens?
No, he's bringing in Bitcoin as part of his raise for his funds, and you get the upside of the real estate and you get the upside of the Bitcoin on the exit.
So because he's just levering the Bitcoin position on.
Yeah, and then also it's, he knows what Trump, like he's getting close to Trump, so he's leaning into it. And dude, I'm really close with Jared Glant, his right-hand man, right?
Mm-hmm.
He explained it to me, and I'm not the crypto wizard, but bro, I was like, I'm not smart enough to really know. But Grant, what I did understand was the real estate side. And bro, if you were an investor that you also gave Bitcoin into the fund along with your cash, you get the upside of the real estate, but then where Bitcoin's going to go, you get the upside of the revenue from the Bitcoin as well.
So it's kind of almost like having, it's like investing your crypto in an umbrella life insurance policy that continues to grow whether you borrow against it or not.
That's right.
Again, not a financial advisor.
Yeah, and bro, and by the way, I hope I'm not, Grant, sorry brother if you're watching this, but like I know enough because what I was told, but like I'm like, dude, this could be that's a hell of a way to raise.
Well, the good news is Grant doesn't watch it. He gets an advanced copy that he gets an advanced copy. Advanced screening. He sits in his hot tub every Thursday night and watches this before it goes out.
That's right.
And approves it. That's all I have to. I just sent it to him directly.
Yeah, but I think Bitcoin. So I'm leaning a little bit more into educating myself. I would refer him as a guest for you because he's awesome. He's young. He's 24. He started his own platform that is now a huge competitor against Coinbase.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about printing money.
Yeah, no kidding.
So I interviewed him on my episode, bro, and I think he'd be great here. But like, he blew my mind. He thinks Bitcoin's $100 million coin.
Holy smokes! Well, because you have entire countries now.
That's because his whole point was when Trump goes all in, it's going to change everything about it.
Man, well, look, I don't know a lot. We talked. Was it your podcast or about? Oh no, it was yours. We talked about the greatest press conference I've ever seen in the history of my life, which was Trump the other day, talking about gonna buy Greenland, come on down, Canada, 51st state, and go for America.
That's it.
And people don't understand what he was doing, and they just don't understand the posturing.
Yeah,
dude, Trump is the greatest closer ever, dude. He's negotiating. You throw a bunch of stuff out and then you settle for what you really want.
Yeah.
That is that's business 101.
It's
man.
magic.
It's magic. It is.
He just has the cojones to do it, bro.
I know.
Right? Everyone else doesn't. He just doesn't care. He's not a politician. He's like,
yeah.
It's just
and
great.
Now that he really doesn't care about getting reelected, it's gonna be interesting 4 years, man.
It will be a fun ride.
It's gonna be, yeah. It's going to be wild for sure. It's going to be wild. Well, Justin, man, if they want to follow you, they want to find you. How do they find let's talk about that, dude. If you want to get in the real estate game, dude, and you want this dude to literally partner with you and help you close your deals real time every single day on the phone, 2 to 3 hours, how do they find you?
reilive.co, not .com. .co, reilive.co.
If you go to .com, some stuff's going to get down on the computer that the authorities are going to show up any day. So very careful not to put the M in.
Yeah.
.co.
reilive.co. It's $197 a month. We do deals together 50-50. I'm going to change the shape. I give referral fees when you bring people in.
And if you put in the code escaping the drift, you'll get nothing. Just throw it out there real quick. You'll get nothing if you do that.
And then Instagram, the Justin Colby. Go follow me.
Yeah. And listen to the podcast. Both of them.
Yeah. Science of Flipping's real estate, entrepreneur DNA, business in general, and they're both great.
I love it, man. Well, again, dude, listen, if you're not doing something, you got to do something. This is a great way that you could get into mentorship. But again, today, if you take anything away, it should be the power of your network is everything. How you grow it, who you're around, who you spend your time with, who you're learning from matters. And if you are going to strike out on a new venture, this particular year and you're wondering where to start, go to the link in my bio, or if you go to thejohngafford.com, you click the very first thing. It is my very free, very no upcharge, no upselling. I don't have anything else I'm going to sell you. I'm just giving this away for free. It is my business planning course. And at the end of that course, you have a one-page business plan that you can execute just about anything. So there it is. If you like the podcast today, share it with somebody else. Give us a like, give us a thumbs up, give us whatever you need to do. 4-star, 5-star review, whichever one's the max. Anyway, we'll see you next time. What's up, everybody? Thanks for joining us for another episode of Escaping the Drift. Hope you got a bunch out of it, or at least as much as I did out of it. Anyway, if you want to learn more about the show, you can always go over to escapingthedrift.com. You can join our mailing list. But do me a favor, if you wouldn't mind, throw up that 5-star review, give us a share, do something, man. We're here for you. Hopefully you'll be here for us. But anyway, in the meantime, we will see you at the next episode.